Okay. I guess I must have grabbed the original site.
Here it is. David, do you want to? You enjoyed that, didn't you?
He's a markup. Yeah.
So you want to do the motion?
No, I don't have each. Okay.
Ready, Kelly?
Okay, I'll put it on. Okay.
Ready, Kelly? Okay, let's bring Mr. Bashara up. Where's Mr. Brill?
He's probably back talking on.
Okay, he's got to come out.
He's in the hallway. Are you getting Lily?
Yeah, I'm seeing if he's in here. Kelly. Okay.
I'm looking at
Then I'll meet us out, just some orders. Okay. He's not here? He's in the hall. Okay. Hey, what are we doing on Flores?
We're making an offer.
Good. He's not. Oh, he was talking to Mr.
Play the video.
You know what? This is what we're going to do. Go ahead. Let's see if we can resolve this matter with Facelli or whatever that, you know. Are you ready? They want to talk to you. And then I'll do what I need to do with Bashara within the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
Mr. Kaplan, you want to step outside with Mr. Moran and
Yes,
counsel?
we're good. They need to speak with defense counsel, Your Honor.
Hey, just wait. Is Mr. Cripps available? Yes
He
or
is,
no?
Your Honor. We spoke to him.
Where is he
In the
physically?
hallway, Your Honor.
Ask him to come on, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's not a problem. Hi, Mr. Bashara.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Looking very nice. All right, ready? Let's do it.
We're going to talk. This is case number 138320, People versus Robert Bashir. Mr. Bashir is here today for a special pre-trial.
Appearances for the record. Just the lawyers for the prosecution at this
Lisa
time.
Lindsay on behalf of People Citizens.
Hey, please call Your Honor Robert Moran, Assistant Prosecutor.
Okay, very good. Please be seated. Mr. Bashara,
Yes, ma'am.
good morning.
Good morning to you.
We were here previously and the court had removed the legal aid and defender's office. I now am going to appoint 2 lawyers to this matter, but I think you should know a little bit about them.
Yes, ma'am.
You had requested the law office of David of Cripps and Silver because of Mr. Cripps' vast experience in both state and federal matters. He is a very efficient lawyer. He is voted as even a super lawyer among his peers, which is a very high distinction. We also, Ms. Diallo is also going to be appointed to this matter. Although Ms. Diallo has not practiced as long as Mr. Cripps, nor has his court. But anyway, she is a very accomplished lawyer in this building and throughout the state. Her success rate is phenomenal in these matters. She's very competent, and I believe that the 2 of them together will be able to adequately represent you. So at this time, the court is going to order that David Cripps of the Law Office of Cripps and Silver is appointed to represent Mr. Robert Bashara, as well as Ms. Lillian Diallo of the Law Offices of Lillian Diallo is appointed to represent Mr. Cripps at this time. Because of the new attorneys coming in on this matter, the court has made a scheduling order. The court is going to indicate that all discovery known to the parties shall begin immediately. Both parties are under a continuous duty to exchange discovery. The court will also note that if there is any information protected by privilege, statute, or constitution, is required to notify the court and the other party by motion filed under seal within 7 days of its receipt. And the court shall schedule a hearing within 14 days of the filing of the motion and conduct an in-camera inspection of the materials and make a record. All discovery shall be completed no later than 28 days before the trial. Any pretrial motions are to be filed on or before Wednesday, May 28, 2014 at 9 a.m. except for motion in limine concerning the admissibility of evidence. The court will hear these motions on Monday, June 23, 2014 at 9 a.m. Because of the high publicity of this case, the court is going to do jury selection by using juror questionnaires. 60 days prior to the trial date, the parties may draft questions to determine jury impartiality and qualification. These prospective questions shall be filed with the court no later than Friday, August 1st, 2014. Upon receipt of the questions, the court, as well as the parties, will compile a questionnaire. This questionnaire will be given to prospective jurors. We will call 150 prospective jurors. They will be required to complete that questionnaire. The court then will have them to come back after receipt of the questionnaire, after the answers, 14 days prior to the trial date. The court is going to give each side 1 hour to do voir dire prospective jurors. The court will allow each side 20 peremptory challenges and will seat 16 jurors in this particular matter. Any pretrial disposition must occur 20 days before the trial. The trial date is Monday, October 6, 2014 at 9 a.m. This scheduling order will be given to both sides, and we need you, Madam Clerk, to accommodate yourself accordingly. And that concludes this matter.
We approach John before you conclude.
Okay, yes. No, I can't. I made a mistake. She can't do, it's only 2 lawyers. That's it. So that's just it. That's not the point. He said I should do it, and that's it. And if he's not happy, I'm sorry. You can still take it back? Okay, well then that's it. Then take that up now. Okay, very good. What?
It was one of the things that
Look, we just
Okay,
have to
okay.
deal with
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Can we go in chambers and discuss something real?
Let's run it back.
Yeah.
Henry, you're in the wrong court.
Why is it back like that? What are they? So they're jackets. Okay. Okay, I thought they were special cases.
She claimed she was threatened. She was but then the record was right. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. Right. Right, Johnny.
It doesn't fit the ass.
Well, that's come up in this case before. right here. And I was like, no, you have to let us in. She's like, well, then you have to. So we had a chance to play. I know, so we went to that. It was a week ago. He died. And then so the police had
You're still talking? Say what she said. You say that. Do you and Michelle socialize? Go out on weekends? She knows. She should. I like how she analyzes it.
She still has it.
What about Roy?
It's an important thing.
He's reticent.
When the contact goes,
Sent a case there, for it.
well, wasn't she? She's part of the
I find it astounding that you haven't needed to explain. No, what I mean is, the three of you are able to function without social. You have to be selective. Is there ever a point when you say, also, if you're anything like me, maybe I'm territorial. I'm not because she wasn't to me with no problem, no problem. Without interviewing the direction, we never understand. I said, I think you can sound the assailant again.
That's where the sound is.
I must have misunderstood. Or didn't answer the question.
That's where she is. Well, that's what they're talking about. Yeah.
I feel like what okay, I want to hear an example of this good deed. Mayor of the city council, good friend of mine, who you know. His son's father's office in Orchard Lake. His hearing is Monday. Look at my the short version. He would have had 0. Just moved. happened to the city attorney. They didn't tell me, I wasn't told that he had a new phone first. She's secretary. Tell them about 120. Woe is me. What do you mean? What about insurance? Why can't I have a zero? Steve, what about probation? And then he said, send me an invoice. Yeah. Don't give me those. All right, so I'm grumbling about me. You mean, it doesn't matter, we got hearing the conversation. What a court. It's an addiction. Now, maybe a rich person could be deterred. All right, I'm going to call it again. But I think people are in denial. And then they drive too slowly. I was in Timor, and the judge was rating. The judge said she was brought here for drinking. Good judge, when we start,
That is what.
I think they might have moved to trust. Right. But keep it, helps you keep it succinct. Right? When you write a story, it's you write well. I like your satiric.
Well, this one just.
Crystallizes all the information.
It's essentially the same.
Yeah.
Now, is that something you put in the paper and you're gonna hold off to? Yeah, no, you don't want to make people look back.
How's your husband?
Sure, right.
He's excited about baseball.
Oh, gosh, he's almost,
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, there's surprise.
Yeah, so my husband.
So are you?
No. Oh, yeah, I think this is historical.
Yeah.
Mine's mine.
Right. What is it? What do you have to say, like, that is what they have sort of how to say.
I like it.
Enjoy hearing it on the radio.
Thank you, that made my day. You're gonna be my PR guy, this is good thing to look out for you, right? I didn't get married to her twin sister. Now,
For police purposes, case is solved once the past charges. Ask her if she can. Absolutely. Can you identify the assailant? No, I don't think so. Have you seen the movie The Bird? I think a lot of young lawyers. He obviously spent time in court.
Yeah, they're special questions.
I got coverage.
When? I didn't do it, but yeah. I can see you. You're an IC applicant. You're a referent. Yes. You have to have special patients. Well, no, you're current. That's two
The mayor, yes, she's a prison. Sherry believes
So you're limited to X amount of questions at your own. You mean state court is limited? Are you limited the number of people you can propose? But does the same apply as the defense limited in the You mean in your line, you feel it works? about deposition of your client, was that limited or? What, like 4 hours, is it 6 hours? What happens if the attorney goes to stretches of class? Okay, hold on. She said, let's go. Or talking slowly. Make sure I have this right.
Yes, it's spelled wrong.
What percentage of your cases? Why, give me an example, or give me a reason why a case is not solved. Say you survive a lot.
I survived, and it's a good try.
Are
Why are
they,
you crying?
no, I'm talking about cases that doesn't solve. Doesn't solve. You probably have good, you know most attorneys.
Yeah. She said we're going to start at 1, but we made an offer and I'm hoping
So let's say employer terminates employee. So we're eliminating the position. They don't fill the position.
Young? Are you young? You're young? Okay.
Over 40-year-old.
I know what, have a seat. On.
In age, their handful was 40 or 50. All right, so 52-year-old employee is fired. His replacement was a child. Isn't there a perception? I thought there was a perception. Why do I think? Oh, I never gave you a time. There hasn't been? Are you sure? So the burden of persuasion.
But you don't have a case.
Okay.
I know what it's.
Probably say it's a presumption, but they were wrong. You just don't have a case. Okay, so I've got
So you have to prove animus or?
I can tell you that it was
What if there's a pattern of circumstantial?
right.
So you have an older person, younger person filing substantial difference. You have no direct evidence of animus. To survive something. Yeah, I wouldn't take it to them.
And I really don't, and I know the reason.
Yeah. I might be able to try it. So a man called me, friend of a friend, wanted me to expunge him. Tell him this is Flood and also county circuit court told me malicious so his attorney applied for youth status. Well, one of the reasons I was Go for bar, 25 years ago. Where do you go? Where do you eat? So there is no sponsor. So that's not knowledgeable.
Can you show me information?
Yeah, right.
Where that's at? It's not there.
One of my friends would take two weeks. That was a great contest. $500. Can you give me $500 on board? What are you going to do? And you end up placing in this for that was a classic for us. The attorney called me. Steve, I represented pled guilty 8 years ago in retail. Come on, save your time. Keep your guy. Judge can't. Other fellows.
He was never the right person. May have been.
But they might have a different.
Every second you come in front, there's no way to go.
$100 here.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe if you would have
But our generation, it was Martin Johnson. Pretty decisions. He started Bill Roy is that was Slayer's, yeah. Jewish population, which are brain youngsters, my children's age,
Oh, okay, yeah.
the others are
Yeah, but I was trying to figure it out.
not special.
I have my sources and there's a fake name, but it's here today. Like 87 now.
I attended a ceremony. My friend Callie, and I was for 15 years.
So my phone's sitting on the table and somebody thinks that my calls me
Friday night, my wife birthday.
But it's so good.
Depends on the fact.
Talking to one guy on the phone, it comes up, it just comes up as that guy's time. And I don't want to see that guy's working on sword. JD.
Well, why are they doing that?
It isn't even his. Yeah. I do a lot of track. Track.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, there was a Jewish.
Did Miss Diallo leave?
Yes.
She did. I have to do this, please, I promise. Okay, thank you. I will, I promise. We need to get Mr. Bashara out, please. Back on the record, based on, please be seated, Mr. Bashara. Based on a conversation the court had with the with the parties, the prosecutor and prospective party, the court at this point is not going to enter an order appointing David Cripps at this time. I'm going to make a decision on April 4th as to how the court wants to proceed in that area. As far as a scheduling order, the court is not going to enter that order at this time, and my understanding is that there may be some type of disclosures that may be forthcoming, but the court is going to revisit that on April 4th at 9 a.m. Any other issue that we have to bring before the court?
Nothing on this matter, Your Honor.
Very good. That concludes. Oh, can attorneys approach? Perspective. Answer. All right, thank you. Let's do Fasinelli at this point. Take Mr. Bashir ahead. Good seeing you. See you April 4th. All right, very good. Come on, Mr. Kaplan, attorney.
All right, sir.
Do you want to do it by order or placing it on there?
No, let's just go on the record. Where's Mr. Fasinelli?
He's here, Your Honor.
Well, come on, I'm ready. Kelly, call us now.
In the matter of the people versus Robert Fasinelli,
Richard, I'm sorry.
Richard Fasinelli.
Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Lisa Lindsay on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan.
May I please call Your Honor Robert Moran, Assistant Prosecutor.
Okay.
Your Honor, Stephen Kaplan, co-counsel for Mr. Fasinelli.
Lynn Schechter, Roy Schechter, and vote representing Mr. Fasinelli.
Okay, very good. Are we going forward with this motion?
Your Honor, we've resolved the case. I can outline it for the record, or Mr. Moran can outline it, either one.
Okay.
Do you want me? Your Honor, Mr. Fasinelli will withdraw his motion, and we've resolved the case in the following manner. Number one, a shotgun and a handgun were taken during the search. Those two items will be returned to him within 30 days by April 10, 2014. Number two, Your Honor, power of attorney documents were seized. Copies of those documents will be returned to him by next week. That would be March the 18th. Number three, Your Honor, two computers were taken, a laptop and a desk computer, and those two items will be returned to Mr. Fasinelli on or before April 10, 2014. Lastly, Your Honor, the fourth item, would be a cell phone that was taken, and that'll be returned to him on or before April 1, 2014. Mr. Moran, or Ms. Lindsay, did I recite it correctly?
You were specifically supposed to indicate that he was withdrawing all factual allegations in the motion.
We will withdraw the motion and any contents therein.
Okay, very good. It's my understanding that that absent the shotgun, but as to the computers, that you will have copies of those documents also?
Yes.
The files?
The only other thing is he has to get, these dates that we have set up will have to be approved by Ms. Lillian Diallo, because according to the statute, we cannot release any of the evidence back to him because the defense has a right to independently test the evidence, the cell phone, the computer. So once we get her consent that she does not want to independently test those, we will turn the things over to him.
Your Honor, we had an agreement with Mr. Cripps. Our problem is this.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Cripps is not the attorney
I
in
know,
this
I
case at this
understand.
time.
I understand.
So therefore, this is what I'm going to do. I don't want to accept the order that is proffered by both sides. What the court will do is that on April 6th, I will decide what, if any, materials will be returned. That will be the court's decision at that time, and I'm not in a position to do that today. Okay? Very good. Ms. Diallo will be present. She will be notified of the issues, and at that time, the court will be able to make a decision. Because quite frankly, I do appreciate that you are willing to stipulate to the return of these items, but basically, quite frankly, Mr. Fasinelli doesn't have a basis in law to have these items returned at this point. But to accommodate both of you, we can see what we can resolve. But in the interim, I'll make that decision. Anything that is entered to or agreed to by Mr. Cripps obviously is not binding on the court. The court speaks to its order, so I will draft an order myself no later than today to both parties that this matter will be continued on to April 4th. Make sure you just do an order for me, Kelly. That concludes this matter. I'll see you both at 9 a.m. And let me explain this to you. I accommodated the parties in this matter because you were just coming in. It was from last week. April 4th, whose phone is that going on?
Apologize, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. I want to make sure that you are here on that date, have that date available to this court, and that concludes this matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just continue this matter to April 4th.
Oh, okay. April 4th.
April 4th on everything.
April 4th.
April 4th.